A little extra conversation for Wednesday, December the 4th, 2024. And yes, we're talking about death and your death. Probably. Because if you're down with the numbers and you know like probabilities, you may not like this one. Coming from the annals of the neurology that published that story there, here's a little story about how death may work for you. Particularly if you're older, you are 14% more likely to die on your birthday than on any other day of the year. And particularly if you live in certain geographical areas, you're 13% more likely to die getting a paycheck than other places. And if you're human, as we tend to be, you're probably dying late morning, somewhere around 11 a.m. than other times in the day. Now, how did it come down to this information? I've not read this actual study, so I don't know. And, my source is this study and the internet. So there you have it. But most likely, if you're a human, you're dying about 11 a.m. And based on where you live, you're probably going to die after you cash that last paycheck. These are people who are hopefully still far from unalived on this day, their birthday. Starting off with Marissa Tomei, who is 60 years old on the day. Of course, the hot Aunt May, if you want to go that route, or go way back to hot chick from My Cousin Vinny. Always hot. Marissa Tomei is 60 years old on the day. Also hot today. Tyra Banks, who's 51 years old and still making things happen on the runway and in the business world. And probably hot because he wears a lot of those big old heavy sweaters. Jelly Roll, who's turning 40 years old on the day. Let me remind you of Ground News. Ground News is a great tool that we use, a website and an app that we actually use every single day to check on stories that we produce for you all through the Conversation Project. We use this website to check on headlines to see exactly how they're leaning and how we want to actually present them. Sometimes we want to present stories with a more heavy weighted headline, sometimes with a more detailed and sane headline, if you will. And we look at what various people are covering on these coverages and see what they're saying and how to do that. Sometimes we end up taking the spicy one with the dull one and putting them together and see what happens. Sometimes it's magic. Sometimes it isn't. But what we do get from Ground News is coverage of news in the best way possible. You get to see a headline, a story, and see how it's being portrayed across the spectrum of news, whether it's something that's pretty much right down the middle or something being covered more for the right wing or more from the left wing, and sometimes being ignored by the right wing and ignored by the left wing because it makes one side not sound so good to each other. So you check it out today and check it out and get a great deal. If you use our link, you'll get 50% off their deals today and in this region right now. So you want to get a great chance to get great news into your hand with your phone or into your browser window and take care of yourself with what's going on. We use this every single day and we suggest you do as well. This is theconversationproject.com/ground news. This is theconversationproject.com/ground news. They don't offer commentary like we do. They offer straight up who's covering the news and how are they covering it. We do need you to also help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing to this video. Like this video if you like it, if it worked out well for you. This will help the algorithm see it as usable. This will help me see it as usable. This will help the people who see it on the algorithm and I share it with as usable. And you can also just skip the middleman. Share it directly with people you know love this type of content. News of the offbeat sort in this presentation here, and news that is essentially conversational things that people are actually talking about in the main channel that you're watching this here. And subscribe to our channel to get those news however you want it. Whether you're a TikTok person and just want the clips, whether you're a YouTube person want the full deal for things you might not have heard, subscribe so you get in on the ground floor for all the news we have all the time. And you don't have to watch every single piece, but knowing it's there helps us out a lot. Once again, thank you so much for being a part of the show we do for you here and the shows we do, I guess, for Conversation Project. The Wednesday, December 4th edition of A Little Extra Conversation, now done for 2024. Join us again for tomorrow for more quirky stuff like this, like When You Might Die. I wouldn't put money on that one. And watch for us all day for the news we give you for the Conversation Project.